Welcome back to the Southern Quality Ford Friday Night Blitz. We are now joined by the voice of the Calvary Cavaliers, Mark Cantrell. And Mark, thanks for joining us here on the show. Let's talk about the Cavaliers football first. Rough start to the season, but have now won 3 straight. What's kind of been the difference maker for Coach Q and his group down there?
Well, really, the thing about Calvary, you look at their schedule they played, it was, just a gauntlet of teams they had to go through, Bastrop and Bird, starting out with Bird. But now that they've kind of got things going, they're starting to get teams more on their level, and they're really starting to pick it up. The offense is starting to got a young offensive line, and they're starting to pick things up and get their blocking packages ready to go, and they're doing a lot better.
I'm talking about the last 2 wins. You had a win over Sterlington last week, a win over Loyola tonight. Those are 2 big wins, especially at that level. How far can that go for their confidence going forward?
Well, I think the Sterlington game is huge. You got a team that just basically kind of just wore them down at the end last year, and Calvary played the best game they've played all year, and they pretty much dominated that game. Sterlington scored most of their points late in the second half. I think Calvary was up 28-0 in the third quarter. So it was just a really good game for them, and they were able to build on that. And then this week, playing another good offensive team in Loyola, they were just able to get it done when they needed to at the end. And Jordan Wallace, 2 field goals in the game. He had made 1 all year. So that was big for him tonight, and that was a good win tonight against a very good offense in Loyola.
Isaiah Brown, now a junior, he's been playing since his freshman year, but this year has kind of been sort of a breakout season for him. What has been the secret to his success this year?
I'll tell you what, there's one word that can describe Isaiah Brown, and it is a beast. He's a beast. He had probably the best run I have seen from a running back live up in person last week at Sterlington. I think he ran it for like 94 yards from one 4 to the other 4, and he drug probably a pile with him about 10 yards on the other 30, got free, broke 3, ran down the field, got to the other 20. They finally caught up with him, and he drug him to the 5, to the 4, and it was just an amazing run. Offensive line early wasn't getting him some holes to run through. Not so much tonight. Last week, they were able to just pick the holes, and even if he doesn't have a hole to run through, he's going to find a way through it.
And it seems like each week we see this team just take that next step and that next step. As we start to get closer and closer to district play, what can be the ceiling for this group?
I think they're definitely good enough to win the district championship. You got some good teams in the district, Lakeside, North Caddo. They went at it toe-to-toe tonight, went down to the last second. So it's going to be the defense stepping up. I think the offense is almost there. They're starting to put some pieces together. Micah Jernigan, receiver, he's had a touchdown in each of the last 3 games, had over 100 yards receiving last week. Cade Hart, he kind of threw to him a couple times tonight, had a big play. Those 2 are starting to get things going. Mason Woodle, he has a catch in every game. And so it's just a matter of time before he finds the end zone with Cade. And when they do that, when they start throwing the ball and get it, it's just going to open up holes more for Isaiah Brown and Joseph Wilson, too.
You mentioned Joseph Wilson. He's kind of emerged. He's a young kid on that Calvary team. His brother Brandon played for the Cavaliers a few years ago. What has he brought to this offense?
Well, I'll tell you what, if it wouldn't have been for Joseph tonight offensively, every time Isaiah Brown touched the ball, they were on him. I think he had maybe 40 to 50 yards rushing tonight, a double-digit carry night for him. So he was struggling, and Joseph needed to step up, and he did. He had over 100 yards rushing tonight, scored a touchdown, and he just stepped up. He made the plays that he needed to make tonight, and it's going to take that probably a couple more games as well.
And now, real quick, you don't only just serve as the voice of the Calvary Cavaliers, serve double duty, as a sports information director over at LSUS. What's going on with the Pilots now as we start to get into basketball season?
Well, we're getting close to basketball, but soccer's in full swing. They're just started conference play. We got 5 home games next week, starting Monday afternoon. It's a makeup game with LSUA. The men play at 3:30, and then on Thursday and Saturday, 3:30 or 1 o'clock and 3:30. The women play at 1, the guys at 3:30. So it's going to be a lot of action at the Swamp.
And then when does hoops start up over there?
Going to be the end of the month, October 29th. The men start off playing Laterno. It's going to be our Halloween game. It's going to be a trunk or treat event. Starts at 5 o'clock. And then the game will be at 6, so anybody who wears a costume gets in free. So it should be a good college basketball game to get the season started with. And Coach Blankenship, he doesn't rebuild, he reloads. And he's reloaded. So he made the Fab Four last year, and we hope he does it again this year, go two more wins further.
That sounds like you're going to be a pretty busy man over the next few weeks between Calvary and LSUS. Well, Mark, we're not going to have you go anywhere. You're going to be staying up here with me on set as we break down a handful of high school football games. That's coming your way after the break right here on the Southern Quality Ford Friday Night Blitz. Stay with us.
You're watching Friday